Karibu Sana. If you're just joining us, it's officially time for Culture Kitchen, and I am so fired up because I've got some amazing guests. Now, one is, she's always here. The one and only Olivia Ambani.
Hello,
how are you doing, Olivia?
I'm doing great.
It's good to see you again.
Thank you.
Yeah, how was your day, Lakini?
It was good.
Yeah, good stuff. Good to see you looking all bright and everything.
Thank you. We must.
Exactly. Yeah, so I'm going to let my guests introduce themselves. They're going to tell us what they do, and then we get into the conversation. It's all about hockey. So I'll start on my right-hand side, my brother. Introduce yourself, tell us your name, what you do, and then we'll pick it up from there.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm Prabjot Hunjan. I'm the founder of Performance Hockey Kenya Limited. An avid hockey player.
Yeah.
I live in Kericho, so basically I've driven down for 5 hours to be present at this interview. Thanks to Trina.
Very good stuff. Shout outs to you, Trina.
So then I play for the Masters over 50s Kenya team, which I think we had a tournament just a few weeks back in South Africa. And besides that, I'm an animal lover. I have 6 cats.
Yo, I found that out. I was just like,
And
what? 6?
Yes,
That's
6
amazing.
Cats. And beyond that, work-wise, basically I work in the pharma industry as a consultant.
Very nice, very nice. So how was the tournament in South Africa? How did you guys perform?
We lost, I think, 2 games. One got rained off because of lightning.
Yeah.
And
What?
we beat Zim, which was quite good.
Yeah.
But we lost to a 55s team, which was quite depressing.
I know, right? Because those guys are fit. Why do you think you guys lost to a 55s team?
I think kudos to the 50s team.
Yeah.
We actually only went with 11 players. So
Yeah, it's true.
we played 4 games with 11 players.
Yeah.
And beyond that, I think one of our own defenders tried to take 2 of them out, 2 of our own players out, because our bench was empty.
Yeah.
So, but then, I think we came back unscathed, which was pretty good for us.
It's true. It's true. Okay, that's impressive. Good stuff, man. So, and by the way, for the record, because I've been playing rugby for some time.
Okay.
Zimbabwe, every time we verse these guys, grudge match.
Grudge match,
It's a derby, bro. We don't take it lightly.
It actually, even our game wasn't a light one. It was actually, it was pretty first time we played them, but it looked like a grudge match for us as well.
I like that. I like the energy. That's good stuff. And then, of course, on my left-hand side, Trina.
Hey, hi, what's up, everyone?
What's up?
My name is Trina, for those who know me as Catherine as well. The current Deputy Secretary General of Kenya Hockey Union. I'm also a Kenya Hockey Masters team player. I play for the 040 women's team.
Nice.
Yeah, and apart from that, I'm a DIYer. I love art. And I love animals as well. Dogs are my favorite.
What breed?
Yes. And also, I'm an insurance professional.
Oh.
Yes.
Look at that. You're all over the place.
I know, right?
What kind of dogs do you like? What breed? What breeds do you
Terriers.
like? Oh, wow. Look at that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So let me ask you. So you mentioned you're also into art, yeah? What kind of art? Because I'm an art lover.
From painting to molding.
Yeah.
I do a lot of molding with
nice.
plaster of Paris.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's talk about hockey, because I'm not so familiar with the hockey. I just know it's very competitive, and then I just find it so, I don't want to say stressful, but the whole thing for bending is, I don't know if they can handle it. So the evolution of hockey in the country, what's your perspective? How has it evolved over the last several years, for example? We'll start with you, Prab.
Well, according to me, I think we've made big steps, because from the time I was the under 21 trialing for the under 21 Kenya team, we had probably had around 10 teams in the Premier League, and now if you look at it, I think there are over around 40 teams.
Yeah.
Playing in different divisions.
Right.
And like I was saying, there's a team in Nandi Hills, there's a team in Kisii, which never existed. It was all about, either Kisumu, Nairobi Simba, Barclays, or Armed Forces. Those were the teams that are always vying for the top spots. And at the moment, it's progressing. There is a lot of talent in the country, but I think it's how we nurture that talent is, at the moment, I think I think most of the senior players are trying to look at that. How do we nurture that young talent and get the best out of them?
Yeah, I know Kisumu was big in hockey.
It is, it's getting back into what it was. I think now Kisumu Simba is called Butali Sugar. It was Butali Sugar. I think they've changed the name again. But then again, it's all about resource. It's all about infrastructure. I think what we lack in the country is a proper AstroTurf, a proper stadium where people can come and enjoy the game. And I think once that infrastructure is in place, I think the game's going to go even leaps and bounds ahead.
I can imagine, because even in the school level, it's pretty competitive. Most schools actually do play hockey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it, because I've been at the nationals when we played, Kisumu used to win most of the Kisumu boys, used to win most of the national boys. And then Iten came up.
Yeah.
And yes, even I started hockey on grass and played on Maram, but that's the surface we had. But then the talent was still there. And then the AstroTurf came up, and then still Iten was winning, Kisumu Boys was winning, then there's Oswald, there's Aga Khan Academy, Lenana was there, Jamhuri were there, but one pitch isn't enough.
Exactly.
And, to put it into perspective, having gone to South Africa just 2 weeks ago, one school has like 3 to 4 pitches.
Yeah, what?
And then in a radius of probably 10 kilometers, there's 16 pitches. And yet we have one, we unfortunately failed to look after it, and we're in the process of trying to get it up and running again, and I think everybody's looking forward to that at the moment.
Right. Trina, what are some of the misconceptions Kenyans do have about hockey that you'd like to address?
One, they take it as hockey you can't get any earnings from hockey. Hockey is a sport.
Yeah.
We have players outside this country that are being paid their own pay slip just because of hockey.
Yeah.
But
full out professionals.
Yes. Professional hockey.
Yeah.
And we can raise such people here. But the challenge we have, as Prab mentioned, is the infrastructure. Once we're able to put up infrastructure here, I'm telling you, we will have teams coming from outside the way they used to do. We used to host teams from Seychelles, just for friendlies, imagine, not anything big. Now we want to go back to that. But a lot of people are like, why should I? I mean, why is hockey going to take me?
Right.
But right now we are seeing universities like USIU, Strathmore, giving scholarships to that effect.
Yeah.
So we've come a long way.
What about in terms of sponsorship? Do clubs actually do have legit sponsorship, or that's still a problem? I guess
it's quite a challenge. I will not lie to you, but we do have people who have like hockey and sports in their heart. We have hockey veterans who have come up with academies for hockey, and they're developing the sports. So they go out there. We have one who's based in the US. She's been doing an amazing job. She has a whole academy. It's called Tunza. She's actually taken like about 6 to 10 girls in the US, and they're studying there.
Yeah.
So you can imagine those are already international players from Kenya, Kisumu.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
And Prab, what about the culture in itself? Yeah, are they big on hockey? Are there a lot of fans in Kenya?
There are fans. I think when you see,
would they actually pay for tickets to go and attend these games?
Don't know. I think we haven't really policed that. But then I think they really like to come and watch the game.
Yeah.
I think because over the last 3 years I've been back in the country as well, we've had so many tournaments. I've sponsored some from performance hockey as well. But we get a lot of audience that comes through. Then they want to come and watch. We have a Friday nights tournament.
Yeah.
That ends at midnight or 1 o'clock at night, and
Very
people
nice.
are still there, watching the teams play.
Yeah, this is in Kericho.
Here in Nairobi.
In Nairobi.
Yeah,
nice. Very
in Nairobi.
nice.
So, and then, with our Masters series that goes, because we have tournaments, the Masters series in Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu.
Right.
There's a big following for that as well.
Yeah.
Because, maybe we are the old folk running around, but people still enjoy it because it's all raw talent that's there. People come and see skill that they probably haven't seen before.
Yeah. How has the entry, let's talk about especially Masters. I know it's like a new thing. Am I right? Yeah. How is it going in the country? Is it getting a lot of traction from the veterans? Are they excited about, getting back on the field?
It is, and I think thanks to them going for the World Cup last year, 2024, to Cape Town.
Yeah.
I think that's built in a lot more interest as well. So, and I remember, prior to me moving back to the country, I was playing for the England team. So I was in I went to New Zealand to play the World Cup there, and then the Kenya team went for the over 40s to Cape Town.
Right.
So we only entered a men's team, but now you see that's just progressed from one team to now entering 4 this coming year, for the World Cup in Rotterdam. So again, if you look at it, there's a lot of belief, and I think it's good because it stops us veterans kind of just sitting at home either watching this TV. It's out and it's amazing. We talk about youngsters on the pitch, but when you come and see the Master Series, you see the veterans out there. It's unbelievable.
And they still have it in them, yeah?
Oh, I'm telling you, it gives your heart that really good fuzzy feeling. You're like, wow, this is good.
I think that's so amazing. We should probably even start a league like that in rugby, yeah? Because sometimes people, some of the old folks, like the veteran, I consider myself to be a veteran, kind of. You want to get back in the field and compete because there's really not much you can do while you're at home, other than going to watch the games. So I like the whole idea. So at what point, maybe I can start with you, Trina, at what point did you actually realize hockey was your thing, was like a calling for you?
Well, I've had to drop relationships because of hockey.
No way.
Oh yes. For me, I actually started in 1998. I started playing hockey in 1998. I was actually finishing my primary school.
Yeah.
At Escort, my dad wanted me to play tennis, but when I looked at the hockey pitch, for me, it was calling my name.
Yeah.
I was like, my dad is like, that's dangerous. I'm like, that is what I want.
you like dangerous,
yeah. So I went there and started playing. I started playing club hockey immediately.
Oh, what?
Like I didn't start
straight from Primo.
Yeah, Mombasa Sports Club. Yeah. So my dad would go do his squash. He used to support the rugby team as well. So we had like hockey.
Yeah.
So it's a passion that has been there. And I will tell you, when I get out of the house to go for training at 6 a.m., the watchman actually asked me, are you being paid? On a Sunday morning.
Because he doesn't get it, man. Yeah.
On a Sunday morning, why would you go to,
Yeah.
And they don't understand. Some people tell you, oh, by the way, we're going out. Please hang out. We're meeting at 10. I'm like, I'm playing hockey at 12 midnight. They're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
They don't understand.
Yeah.
But for me, hockey has been awesome.
Yeah.
It's helped me put aside lifestyle diseases.
Wow, yeah.
And it does a lot of instill discipline.
Right.
It matters eating healthy, staying healthy. And the fact that you still get to socialize with people you've played for like 20 years plus, you see, that's very encouraging. We don't get to lose people. In fact, right now we lose younger people than older people.
What do you mean we lose?
Like they die from lifestyle diseases.
Okay, obviously, yeah.
And maybe substance abuse.
It's very sad, yeah.
Yeah, it's very sad. But now you see for veterans, when these young people see we are having 40, 60-year-olds playing hockey, how can we start nurturing ourselves to actually end up playing when we are 40, when we are 50? And it's really working out because you're seeing people now like, wow, I want to be in the Masters. You go to a conference, you say, I'm playing hockey. How old are you? I'm on my fourth.
What are some of the challenges you go through by they playing in the Masters division or league? Physically, for example, let's start there.
Oh.
I can imagine.
My favorite part.
Yeah.
Like, right now, my speed is not the speed I
it's
had
not
20
usually,
years ago.
I can imagine.
So please, when you're passing the ball, calculate.
Yeah.
Because that is one of the challenges. And also, for Masters, it's not about actually speed like we used to before. It's actually about experience. How am I going to move this ball from here to there?
Yeah.
Not how fast I'm moving it there. Because you might want the ball to move fast,
right?
But if you're not moving it where it's supposed to go, you will lose it. So for Masters, is more of experience. Right now, I realize, as much as I used to play as a forward when I was younger, right now, I find myself positioning myself for that ball without having someone to call or remind me.
Yeah, your positioning has improved due to the experiences that you've had.
Yes.
Yeah, just like Ronaldo. Because he's 38 right now anyway, so I can imagine. Yeah.
He should start playing Masters 35 and above.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just the passion and the love for the game.
Yeah.
And it just keeps a lot of bad vibes away. You're just thinking hockey.
What are your highlights over the years? Something that you're gonna always remember. You're like, wow, in AC, that chick, whatever she did.
There are those moments where you're like, you either tap the ball, you slap the ball, and like, that's a goal. That's an international goal. And the person you're passing this ball to just put the stick and score misses it, and you're like, yeah. But the highlights for me hockey has been an amazing game.
Right.
Yeah. Hockey has been an amazing game, and it's something I still want to play even when I'm 80.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
That's actually so inspiring. Prab, when did you realize this thing was a calling? Hockey was a thing made for you. It was a sport made for you.
You know, I proposed to my first wife when I was 13 years old. So
very nice.
That's hockey. So, and I've actually
that was hockey.
Yeah, and I've never looked back.
Yeah.
And like I was telling Trina and Olivia outside, you know, I was a good footballer before hockey.
Nice.
And as soon as I started hockey, things changed. Never looked back. And okay, like I said, having trialed Kenya under 21s, obviously didn't make the cut. But then when went to university, played at a club in UK. And to date, I still hold the highest goal scorer record in that league.
What?
So I've got over 500 goals in that league.
Oh, my God.
And so that's kind of my highlight. And then, yeah, it's, again, to Krina's point, it's given me health. It's it sometimes, you know, I could be on the hockey pitch the whole day.
Right.
Yeah, because I know that's where I get my mojo and everything.
Exactly.
And then, again, discipline comes from it. You know, having captain club teams, having captain uni teams, and then, you know, then last year having gone to the World Cup, I think, you know, that was a big highlight in my life as well.
Yeah.
And having played 2 European championships as well.
Yeah.
So it's given me a lot. And okay, maybe later on in life, not when, you know, you're in your prime in your 20s. But then I think that's where the decline of Kenyan hockey also started coming in. So, you know, when we were getting into our I think prime at that point is when Kenya hockey was also going down. So.
Yeah, you'll actually clarify that. I'm going to ask you a few questions to do with the decline. Mm-hmm. But, you know, it's interesting you put it like that because you're saying as a captain of a club, it taught you discipline, that, you know, and that's a trait that you've carried along all your life. For me, I think that's something that I also got from rugby. I guess sports teaches you character.
Yeah, it does.
It also teaches you teamwork.
Yeah.
You know, it's group dynamics. Very, very important. Yeah.
And there are a few yellow cards along the way.
Right.
And I think I've had in my career a few yellow cards, 2 red cards.
Yeah.
And one was just telling the umpire that I'll see you at tea. And he thought I was threatening him. So I was like, okay, that's fine.
What challenges maybe now that you're in the Masters League? Physically, again, any problems?
I think physically you take a bit longer to recover.
Oh yeah.
And then contrary to what Trina says, I've always been like a striker, so I always work on speed. So even now, basically that's my strength. And for speed, you need to keep fit.
Yeah.
And then my ethos is obviously try and do as much as I can even now to just make sure I'm fit. So when I get onto the pitch, you know, you have to perform.
So you're still pretty fast, yeah?
I think so in the age group, but I try. But others might have their opinion.
Hold it right there. Let's take a short break, and then when we come back, we'll continue with the conversation. Guys, we're talking the state of Kenyan hockey, evolution, progress, and possibilities. I'm hanging out with Prab, is the founder of Performance Hockey Kenya Limited, and Catherine, a.k.a. Trina. Yeah, she's a creative striker, Kenya Hockey Masters 040, of course, and Deputy Secretary General, Kenya Hockey Union. We're coming back in just a bit, right after Tupac Shakur, T.I. and Ashanti. It's called Puck's Life.
Sugar and spice and everything nice. 94.4 Spice FM.
Puck's Life by Tupac Shakur, T.I. and Ashanti. Playing right here on 94.4 Spice FM. This is After Hours with Kev, your local energy provider. And of course, we're on Culture Kitchen, hanging out with the legends, icons in the building. We're talking all things the state of Kenyan hockey, evolution, progress, and possibilities. Prab is over here. He's the founder of Performance Hockey Kenya Limited. And Catherine, she's Catherine, aka Trina, Catherine Mulwa, creative striker, Kenya Hockey Masters 040. Yeah, women's, of course, division. And then she's also the Deputy Secretary General, Kenya Hockey Union. Now, Prab, so obviously you've played in Kenya, you've played internationally, you've played for England. What's the difference between what's going on out there and in Kenya in terms of the hockey ecosystem? What are some of the main differences that we can actually learn from, and so that we can improve our own ecosystem in Kenya?
I think first and foremost is it has to be infrastructure. If we put the infrastructure in place,
yeah,
you know, like we spoke earlier, we got the talent, And I think we have the coaches that are present, and I know a lot of them are FIH accredited at I think level 3 or 4 or higher. Yeah. So it's not that we don't have knowledge to tap in from. We do have the knowledge, but I think what people lack is that playing surface. Because if you go around the country and you look at young talent are playing on pitches that are not conducive for hockey. And then what they learn and how they learn to play that hockey is actually not a good sign, because it leads to loads of injuries. And people, every player, is playing hockey with a passion. But through that passion, because the surface is not right, some people don't have the right equipment, the right shoes, you're bound to cause injury either to yourself or to your opponent.
I agree.
So, and when you play overseas, and I think Olivia will also back me up on this, health and safety is foremost. Hockey, as it used to be in the past, I remember when I started, the one rule I was taught was, if the ball goes past you, the man doesn't.
Yeah, wow.
You see, that's how the defender used to play. Yeah. But now hockey is so much safer. It's I think it's so strict on how you play, but it's just it's in an amazing place. And I think we learn, and the only way we'll learn and get to that level is through exposure. But unfortunately, we don't end up. We went for the Pretoria Olympic qualifiers. We didn't make it to the Olympics. I had money on the ladies team to make it, actually, because they performed really well. The men have a tough opponent in South Africa and Egypt. So they were, at the moment, always going to be lying third. So a hard qualification. But then, we're only getting that exposure once in a while. But we need to get it more often.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, and once we have infrastructure, and going back to what Trina said earlier, we'll get international teams coming here. Like when I started hockey, Holland used to come here, Pakistan used to come here, India used to come here, and those were their test series in prep for World Cups or the Olympics.
Wow, yeah.
You see?
So they bring over the top players,
the team that was going for the Olympics used to come because it was high altitude training, but Kenya used to provide them a stern test. Kenya, I think, was number 4 in the world once.
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
Look at that. This is shocking.
So imagine at the pinnacle we were and where we are. And then even now, there's the legends of the game that are still here, alive today with us, that can basically nurture these youngsters to get back to that level. But the one main thing I would say is infrastructure.
Yeah. What about the game in itself, right? Because I'm sure, strategies have changed. It's probably faster. So you've talked about infrastructure, but what about the games? What can we actually learn? Because you've played at a high level, Masters, World Cup for England. But if you look at, because I know you also mentioned this, the talent is amazing in Kenya. Yeah. But what really makes some of these countries really stand out? Forget about infrastructure, but just about the game. Yeah, what can we learn from them?
Like I'd say, it's exposure first and foremost for these countries, because a lot of the countries play FIH Pro League, but they play test series against each other. You see, we actually limit our players from that. We are doing now is playing grass hockey, Muram hockey, and then when we play, unfortunately, the City Park is in such a bad state. When we water the pitch, there are puddles. So what happens? Then this is my take. Individuals might disagree with me, but we are forced to play an aerial ball. But hockey is not played in the air. Hockey is played on the deck.
Interesting.
You see? So even when we played, coaches in England tell us, you can't give a lifted ball. If you give a lifted ball, your other player it's a harder thing for him to stop. But if it's on the deck, he can easily stop. It's simply what they do in football, right?
Yeah, of course.
They water the pitch and the ball sliding from here to there. The tiki-taka football, right?
Yeah.
That's what hockey is about.
Okay.
But then what happens is, so we translate those bad habits when we go internationally. And then if you watch our teams play, and that's what they're doing. They just want to do an aerial ball.
Why would you choose to do aerial balls? I mean, isn't it basics? Like, you're supposed to just, play the tiki-taka football.
Yeah, you will do it. But you see, when you play on a proper Astro, and when you play on a bad Astro, and when you go to a proper Astro, you actually know the difference, because the Astro is going to be heavier. Players will struggle. It'll take you 3 games to get used to. By then, your pool games are finished. You've lost.
Makes sense.
You see, and I think that's what's really, I would say, pulling our players back.
Yeah. And what gaps did you see in the country, obviously in the game and in the union, that made you actually start the Performance Hockey Kenya Limited?
Performance Hockey Kenya Limited, I actually wasn't through any gaps in the association. I would say within the country, because there was no brand. So obviously I started performance hockey during COVID. When I was in the UK, I was kind of made redundant from work.
Yeah.
And I just thought, you know what, I'm not getting younger. I love this sport. Okay, what can I give back? So, I got one stick branded, and I paid nearly £300 for that one stick.
Wow.
Just to get it branded with an idea that
That's
I just
expensive.
sat there drawing. And then from there, I just I met somebody, like an ex-international.
When did you do the branding in the UK or?
No, the branding, all the sticks and everything comes from Pakistan at the moment, because that's where all the kind of the best sticks are made.
Right.
And so I met a guy who basically, we just sat chatting, and I said, look, I want to do this. Can this happen? And he goes, yeah, we can do this. So by the evening, he had given me contacts, so I'd got in touch. And all of a sudden, I had ordered, I think, around 100 sticks, and sold, gave quite a few away just so people can test them out. And I used to play with the greys all my life, and I still have like 4 sets of greys. But as soon as I started playing with a performance stick, I actually haven't looked back. And
okay, so excuse my ignorance, what's up with the greys?
The greys is one of the best brand in hockey sticks.
Oh, okay.
So hockey equipment. So it's a stick made in Pakistan, and but then when I grew up, that was the stick they could have. It was a Grays or a Dita. Those were the 2 sticks that you basically wanted to have. So Grays was the pinnacle. And so I played all my hockey career with that until COVID, when I started the brand, and I started playing with my own performance brand.
So apparently your brand has really grown over the years.
We have tried.
2020. What's driven the growth?
Is basically, again, I think, I try as much as I do to market on Instagram, on Facebook, and basically, when I moved back to Kenya, people saw what performance was doing on Instagram. And when I came back, I basically put up a stall in Nakuru, Greenstead's at a Betty Tioni tournament. And that's the first time players actually saw the brand in person. And, like they say, seeing is believing. And as soon as people touched it, and even in fact the men's coach Mike Malungu, he came and he looked at the stick. He called his captain and he said, "Look at the stick." And he made his captain buy that stick, straight away. And it's like it, and it's just, for me, the ethos was bring in quality, because I played with quality, and now I'm trying to bring in quality for players. So when you're on the pitch, you enjoy the game, because you can hear a good stick from a bad stick.
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. So when we talk about a good stick from a bad stick, and obviously you're trying to level the playing ground in the country, making these equipments accessible to folks out there, quality stuff. From your perspective, what does leveling the playing ground mean? What does it look like?
For me, is playing with quality equipment, but which is affordable. Because I know what I paid for my Grays. I could actually sell my performance stick at the same price, but I don't, because I know a lot of people cannot afford that. But then I bring it to a point. For me, is if I can maybe get something out there and then replenish my stock so people can have the same thing, then that's good for me. You see, and then for me, that's. Like I said, you can hear a good stick from a bad stick, because when you go and play internationally, people that, and if I use the analogy of golf, why do you think Tiger Woods did what he did with the Nike clubs, or why Rory can play so well with TaylorMade and not just an off-the-shelf set of clubs? Because there's a difference. And I know that because I've had an off-the-shelf club, and then I've played golf with a TaylorMade, and there's a stark difference.
I can imagine.
Because, and there's the same with hockey, with any equipment.
So you mentioned how right after COVID, you were thinking, I might as well just give back to the society, your community, your country. How does that look like, at the same time being on the commercial side of hockey, but also, community? How do you balance the 2 approaches?
It's I suppose I play the part of a player for one, and then just trying to understand what everybody wants in terms of equipment. So that's basically what's driving me, and the equipment that I bring in as well. And to be clear, everything, I have no investors behind performance hockey. So everything I've done in performance hockey has been, a little bit of salary here, a little bit of salary there, a little bit of bonus there. So that's how performance hockey has been going on until date. So, and it's just my passion for it. And the passion to, commercially, I want to grow their brand. So yes, that's important for people to understand that, we have something in-house that we can tap into.
It's true.
Rather than, because, even now I work with a lot of parents in private schools who say, we want to order a stick from overseas, but they say, can we try yours? And then they try it on my growth. You see, and I'm not here, they're competitors. And to put it into perspective, when I moved back to the country, there wasn't anybody who was doing sticks or doing any equipment. So as soon as performance hockey came, we did our IG page. We started coming to tournaments, and we actually come in a big way because we pitch up a nice big tent. We put all our equipment on for show, and then all of a sudden now there are competitors that are coming through as well, but nobody with their own specific brand. Maybe one that's there.
So the more of like retail.
Yeah, so they're more like retail. So even I've been asked the question, what do you stock? And I said, I don't stock for anybody. I'm not a retailer. I'm a brand in itself. So, and then I'm trying to just build that to make sure.
That's good stuff, So now that you've joined the Kenya Masters squad, what do you foresee in terms of trajectory when it comes to the potential of hockey in Kenya? What do you foresee happening in the next, few years?
I would say, I'm hoping to inspire a lot of the youngsters, and not even youngsters, but a lot of the other veterans that are there. You see, to come through, because obviously with us, with every year that passes by, there are other people who will come and join that group. So that's what we want, because Trina said she wants to play until 80. Teams like England, Australia, they have teams with players that are at 80 and are still playing.
Jesus, man,
and that's what we want to do. You see, and this, I think, in the space of 2 years, is a very big leap, because from having not even gone to a Masters tournament, not only holding a Masters series, to have gone to a World Cup, now to have gone for a tour to South Africa, and now actually planning on 4 teams going to Rotterdam.
Right.
Is actually kudos to, I think, specific people who have tried to get this going.
That's impressive.
I think is a force behind to make sure all this is happening.
I can imagine. How old is the oldest player in Kenya that you know of?
I don't know about the ladies, but maybe men.
For the men?
We probably have some that are up to 65.
Very nice, very nice. That's not easy.
It isn't.
It's not easy.
Oh, they're 70. I should say
70.
My mentor. How do I forget my mentor?
Yeah, he's 70. Still
and he went with us to Johannesburg. And I think he was the best.
He was in the squad as well.
He was playing for us. He was actually our best player throughout the game.
No way. That's very good. That's amazing. That's amazing. Sawa. Hold it right there, guys. And we're coming back with more conversations. Trina is in the building, but also the one, the only Olivia Ambani. Olivia, I got to shout you out the whole time.
Thank
and I'm going to ask you a few questions about hockey and, of course, your journey as well. Guys, it's all about the state of Kenyan hockey, the evolution, the progress, and the possibilities. Prab is in the building, founder of Performance Hockey Kenya Limited, and Catherine Mulwa, a.k.a. Trina, creative striker, Kenya Hockey Masters 040, the women's division, and Deputy Secretary General, Kenya Hockey Union. We'll be back in a bit right after some change by Aaron Ray and Kelani. I'm calling Peter, but it's all good. Founder of Performance Hockey Kenya Limited, and the legend, the icon, Trina. Yes, that is Catherine Mulwa. She's a creative striker, Kenya Hockey Masters 040 Women's, Deputy Secretary General, Kenya Hockey Union. So, one thing that stood out for me, Trina, you mentioned how you started playing hockey when, this was in 1998, you must have been like 15. How old were you again? 13?
Pretty much, I think 14.
14, yeah? That's good stuff, yeah? So, till today, man, you're still playing hockey.
Oh, yes.
So what's the secret? What's the secret to this longevity?
For me, it's the passion that has really pushed me.
Yeah.
And if there's anything my whole life I've been passionate about, it's just these sports. I look at you invite me to play street football. I don't know. I'm like, you know what? No. Is there hockey? Is there hockey?
Yeah.
Because you put me on a pitch to play football, I feel like I have 2 left legs.
Right.
So for me, it's hockey.
Yeah.
And you'll find people also asking you, how are you holding the stick? how are you able to turn the stick? Because if you give the stick to someone right now, they'll just
kind of difficult.
do this.
Yeah, exactly.
They are not able to turn it.
Yeah.
So for me, it just has to do with passion, and it's also good for the mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you think you were going to play hockey for this long?
No.
When you were starting?
Imagine no.
Oh, for real, yeah.
Imagine no.
Yeah.
I was so excited about this sport to a point when I was pregnant with my firstborn.
Yeah.
I played until I was 8 months.
Yeah.
I was literally being told, get out of the
8 months.
pitch.
Come on, Trina.
Get out of the pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of your friends, your colleagues, your peers that you started playing hockey with, do you think they're still playing, some of them?
Oh my, we even went with them to Johannesburg.
All of them are still playing?
Oh yes.
Very nice.
Yes.
Very impressive.
The same team I started with, Mombasa Sports Club.
Yeah.
We have like 6 of us who are still actively playing hockey.
So being a striker, in hockey, a creative striker for that matter, what does it take for you to play that position and for you to actually thrive in that position artistically, right? Because when you mention striker, when you say striker, I'm just imagining a footballer like a striker as well.
Supposed to score.
Like the finisher.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the difference? I mean, how's it like being a creative striker in hockey?
One, in hockey, we have different formations when we are playing the forward line.
Yeah.
So when you're a creative striker, you're actually supposed to create opportunities to enable other strikers or yourself score.
Yeah.
All right. So in hockey, we have the D.
Yeah.
Where if you create a foul, you get a penalty corner.
Yeah.
Most of the foreign teams, when they get a penalty corner, it's a goal.
Yeah.
It's straight out a goal. So you position yourself in such a way you create those opportunities.
So the D is like the final play.
No, it's the D. Like you see
That's
where the goal is.
Okay, I understand.
And then there's a D around it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So anything that happens there, like if you decide you've gotten the ball and you're not in a position to score, you just do something as simple as just putting the ball on the defender's leg, and you're given that.
A penalty straight.
Yes.
That's interesting. Yeah. Wow. It's very. The rules are very. Very detailed, and you got to be aware of your surrounding.
Yes, you have. Yes,
and your positioning.
Yes, positioning is key. For me, what I can.
So you've always played as a creative striker?
Yes, but that doesn't limit me from playing other positions when I am training.
Yeah.
But I'm usually very passionate, and I find myself more self-aware as a creative striker.
When you began playing in 1998, obviously, I don't know that the rules have changed.
They have.
Oh, they have.
Yes.
So you want to talk about that? How is it compared to now? Was it easy back then? It's a bit more stringent right now.
Right now, it's more safe.
Yeah.
Unlike before.
Yeah.
Yeah. The injuries have gone down because now we are more aware that you're not supposed to come from the wrong.
Yeah.
And you have to give someone at least a 5 to be able to move with the ball. There's so much that has changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And so in terms of positions, where do you thrive the most? Because you said you can play other positions. If you could tell the coach on any given day, let me choose my own position, what is it dependent on?
For me, I thrive as a striker, creative striker, and a defender.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
So the Kenya 040 Women's Masters team was unbeaten in Joburg. Shout out to you guys.
Oh, yes.
What made that squad very special?
The squad was amazing. Let me tell you, we actually South Africans didn't expect that.
Yeah.
This being the first time we were taking the team there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last year we didn't take the team to Cape Town, but this time we decided let's take the ladies team.
Yeah.
They were really surprised. One of the comments they actually mentioned to us, like, you guys are fast.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
We got to play with their over 35s, over 40, over 45s, and even their over 50s. So they were really like, and I know they have an idea that we don't have the infrastructures like they do.
Yeah.
But here we were able to actually play on the turf and finish unbeaten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kenyans are always known by there to be fast when it comes to sports in general. So
even
they
looking
probably
for money.
Just put incentives over there. We will perform.
You know?
You know what I mean? Yeah. But at the same time, okay. So you need to give me more details. What was the game plan when you guys were going to SA for that tournament? What was the strategy?
We had a very amazing coach.
Yeah.
He's also the coach for the national ladies team, the younger team.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So he was very open with us, and he was very honest with us. Like, I want you to enjoy this game.
I like that.
And he gave us formations. Let's start with this formation. If it doesn't work, we immediately, the first 10 minutes, let's switch.
Okay.
And that is how we managed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. And I like it when a coach tells you, just guys, just enjoy yourselves.
This one?
Yeah.
Like, please.
Yeah.
You did not come to die.
It's not do or die.
Yeah. But enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
And we really did enjoy ourselves on that pitch.
I like that. I like that. Because you can express yourself better.
Yeah.
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 So what are some of the lessons that you learned from that experience, of course? And another question I can tie to that one is, what are some of, with regards to our potential in the international stage, how would you rate Kenya moving forward from that experience that you had in Joburg? Lessons, and of course our potential in the international stage moving forward. What's going on?
You see, in Africa,
yeah,
when you beat a South African team, for that matter, you already put yourself as tier 1. So for us, the lessons we took is we went there believing in ourselves.
Yeah.
And that is the first motivation we had. And the right attitude. Despite not having the right pitches to play on, we still carry the mentality like we are winning this.
Yeah.
And to be very honest, South Africans, the last game we played, the captain was like, we are happy to see you in the World Cup. We're actually going for the World Cup in Rotterdam next year.
Very nice. Congrats.
And we're taking 2 ladies team and 2 gents.
Yeah. What category?
For the ladies, we're taking the 035s and the 040.
Okay.
And for the gents, we're taking the 040 and the 050.
Very nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's our potential in general when it comes to
there's so much
the
potential.
women's in the international stage?
There's so much international. As we currently speak, our ladies, the national ladies, have gotten the sponsorship for the Los Angeles Olympics 2028. They got a team grant of 50,000 USD.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very
so
impressive.
that tells you already something about women in hockey and in sports. Because that's the team that is going to come up again as masters.
Eventually, yeah, they're going to graduate. I like that.
Yes.
So you guys are currently preparing, like you just talked about, for the 2026 World Cup.
Yes.
Yeah, Masters Hockey World Cup in Rottenburg.
Yes.
What are some of the strategies? How's the prep going? How often do you guys train?
Currently, we are now coming up with a training schedule for the different teams, because 4 teams is quite a number.
Yeah.
And considering we also have limited infrastructures for training, so we also need to look at the timings and everything.
Yeah.
And being masters, these are people who also have work, are employed.
Yeah.
So we need to find a common ground, common time when it's possible to train.
Yeah.
And most of us really have to sacrifice. Like you've heard, he has to come all the way from Kericho. So probably has to make a trip during the weekends to train.
Yeah.
Another thing also, we are looking forward to having sponsors support us in making this possible, because just imagine Kenya being in a World Cup for hockey. Whoever imagined? You see?
Yeah.
And the saddest part about hockey is it was the first team sport in Kenya to actually go for the Olympics.
Yeah, what? That's impressive.
Yeah.
Before athletics?
Yes. First team sport.
What? Yeah.
So right now we want to go back there. We want to go up. Put our ranks up there. And for me, what I can ask is if we can get corporate sponsors. I mean, who doesn't want to see your brand there? And the games will be live,
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just need support because we can't let the government do everything. There can be budget constraints, but when we have people supporting these teams, make Kenya proud. It's something. Even to the young ones, it's motivation.
No, I'm with you. I agree with what you're saying. You know what I mean? Yeah, especially in 2025, we definitely have to get back to where we belong. Because we were pioneers as a sport, hockey in the country when it comes to the Olympics. And for me, I'm thinking, as a union, you're the Deputy Secretary General.
Yes.
Yeah. Where are the opportunities? So maybe there's a sponsor listening to you right now. Yeah, where are the specific opportunities for growth? Forget even about the World Cup in itself. So the one is just jumping into the union. If you were to sit with a sponsor right now, what are we talking about?
One and foremost, every sponsor wants to see a return on investment. And some corporates have sports at their very backbone of their corporate values and all that. There are plans. We've reached out, and there are people of goodwill all the way from Egypt. We currently have one person who's even approached us with proposals for the drawings, but they've been very honest. Like, we want to make this place a place where it can sustain itself, but I, as a corporate, I cannot do it alone. And that is Elgon. Elgon came and we can get the turf. We don't have to get it from, I don't know where we'll have to pay a lot of duty. We can get actually from Egypt, where they make very beautiful turfs.
Right.
Yeah. But now, the amount that we collect as a union, when it comes to the affiliation fees we charge the clubs for the running the leagues and all that, is usually not enough. We want the game to continue. But you see now, we are not able to stop the game so that we can get the infrastructure.
I agree.
Yeah. So for me, I think there's a lot the corporates can do, and they can also gain from these same players. Because they can give them employment, yes. These are people who can fly their brands higher. We have international players. We've had insurance companies that gave small tokens like Takaful Insurance of Africa, CIC, and for me, I'm looking forward for them, for others to come in. We have some that are already reaching out, like, can you please give us your budget? So that for us is good, because they've seen what we displayed in South Africa. So they're imagining, what if we supported this team? And they're going for the World Cup.
I agree. Yeah. That's amazing. Well put. So, as a woman hockey player, what are some of the challenges that women face on and off the pitch that you would like to address? Women hockey players, of course.
Okay. For women in hockey, I think we are the strongest women.
Very nice.
If you ask me.
Yeah.
Then come the rugby ones. Those ones can lift you up. But us, we can break your bone with that stick.
Whoa. Sour.
Yeah. But challenges you face as a woman, especially mature women and young ladies, is you have to balance between work, your own personal life, and being a parent. And if you're a business person as well.
Yeah. Can imagine.
That's the biggest challenge.
Because
sometimes as a master, you're old enough and you'd want to travel to play hockey. The beauty about masters, actually, you get to travel around the world and play hockey.
Right.
So at some time, we don't depend on the union for funds. It's out of passion. Because I want to go to Zimbabwe to play hockey. I want to go to Namibia. And just the fact that you go out there, you meet people, you learn people, you even get business opportunities. That's what we saw.
Right.
For me, we went to Joburg and I was like, these red onions here are expensive, like nobody's business. And at home, I'm buying one at 10 bob. Here, a kg is 400. I can't bring my whole lorry and sell. You know, those are some of the opportunities as a mature woman you look at. Right. Opportunities. Not just playing, but how you can personally grow. Yes.
Can you imagine?
No.
So it's very impressive, by the way. I mean, the fact that, you have all this, you have a lot of balance. The work and the sport. The work, sports, of course. and your own individual life, I don't take it lightly. Yeah. It's very, very impressive. Now, being a leader, Secretary General, Mombasa now, nationally, how do you balance the two between governance, or should I say leadership, and actually being an athlete?
For me, it's easy.
I can imagine. Yeah.
On the other hand, sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
Because as a leader, sometimes you have to make decisions, and these decisions may not sit down well with everyone. And when you're outside as a player, you would not understand this. But when you're inside there, you have a lot of firefighting to do. But players don't understand that. They expect so much from you, yet they don't see the challenges you have to go through. Sometimes you have to run to different organizations, different government entities for funding and everything. They don't understand the challenges. They don't know the protocols you have to go through. So at times I feel you're not doing anything.
Let me ask you something. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know whether you've been following the news, especially when it comes to matters rugby, but in certain sports as well in the country, there's a bit of politics.
Oh yes, politics is everywhere.
They say, there's a certain bunch of people wanakula tu hapo. Let the youth go and take over the management of the unions. Do you what? I'm not going to call a specific sport. I kind of mentioned rugby, but yeah. Do you guys also face the same in the union?
Oh yes, every single day.
For real?
Oh yes.
The way hockey just seems like it's so chill. Like you guys are, mumejipanga.
Oh my God. Cosmetic. Yeah. It happens a lot, and I said when you will not feel a pinch of a shoe if you're not wearing it.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
But if you were to do budgeting and give clubs, and most clubs are self-sponsored. No one is sponsoring clubs. Very few. But when it comes to the union, everyone wants you to give them money.
Right.
But they don't ask themselves, where is the union getting that money from?
Exactly, can imagine, yeah.
But we're looking at, first, revamping that hockey stadium. Once we revamp, there'll be space to let, there'll be spaces to put up adverts. Then from there, we can actually generate revenue.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we generate revenue, we're able to now host international tournaments. This will not only boost the hockey in this country, but also give our players exposure.
Yeah.
You see, this is where people exchange contacts. They're like, yo, in Australia, we're playing our league. Are you available?
Yeah.
We've had players who have actually been playing leagues out there.
Right. Yeah.
So as a leader, it's not been easy. I'll be very honest.
That's what you meant by putting the lights out, yeah? The fire out, sorry. Oh, okay. No, I get it, man. It must be tough.
Yeah. It's tough, but leadership comes with its...
Yeah. So I want to ask Olivia the same question, especially as a lady. Mm-hmm. You've played hockey for some time. Yeah. What are some of the challenges that you faced?
I think for me...
On and off the pitch?
Yeah, I think one of the ones was... Because I've played all through school, university. One was actually worrying about safety.
Yeah.
Like the time of playing, especially when you get to university stage and I guess, club, you play in the evening. And so I had to really be careful, like... when I'm taking the train, am I safe? I need to look like I'm strong. Thankfully, with hockey, you have a stick, okay?
It's true. Better be careful.
It's stuff that, unfortunately, a lot of women have to face. You're so aware of your surroundings. You want to make sure you're safe. I walk in a group, like, who knows where you are? So I think those are challenges, and actually, it sometimes stops you because you're like, if it's being played in an area that you don't feel safe, you might not go for training. Not because you don't want to, but you're like, can I get there? And I played before Ubers, right? Now there's Ubers or like taxis that can take you to many places. So I think there's that. And then just being able to balance, depending on if you choose to have children or not. And, a mother is a very important part of that. I think for me, mainly it was just like safety, thinking about safety. And then just also getting over the mindset that sometimes can be projected on women that when you reach a certain age, there's certain things you cannot do.
Right.
And that's something that I've worked really hard to focus on different things. I like consuming content of women who are doing great things above 40, above 50, above 60, because I feel what we consume will influence what we have in our lives.
Yeah.
So for me, that's been very interesting and also inspiring. I have a friend like Trina, who's doing amazing stuff in hockey. And so I was like, I love this game and she's playing.
Yeah.
I can also play.
So Trina's like your mentor or something?
I'd say yes.
Oh, nice.
To me, when I see what she's done in hockey, I'm always like, if Trina is playing, I'm going to get back into the game, because I took a pause for like almost 10 years now.
Wow.
So I'd love to definitely go back from having played club hockey.
Yeah. That's amazing. So you're probably going to join the Masters League.
Hopefully, if I can make it into the team.
Oh,
Exactly.
yes.
Yeah. I'm curious about your journey, so we'll talk about that in just a bit when we come back. Guys, right now I can see it's 26 minutes after 8. Guys, it's all about the state of Kenyan hockey, evolution, progress, and possibilities. We're coming back to wrap up the conversation. I like it that you're so passionate about hockey. What do you foresee happening? What in terms of the evolution of hockey, right? What's your prediction? What do you foresee happening in the future?
I think actually with how the Masters team is performing, it's going to influence like the youth teams,
Yeah.
the under 21s, the school level, because I feel when we have more mature players, then they can influence policy. They can push for a lot of change, because what happens is when you're a younger player, you're literally just trying to find a club to play.
Yeah.
You're trying to get. So I foresee that it's going to grow a lot.
Yeah.
And also because there's going to be a lot of spotlight on hockey, especially with what's happening of the Masters going to the World Cup. That's a big deal.
Yeah, it's true.
So I foresee that already shifting mindsets, because I feel when you watch the trend in Kenyan sports, any team that makes it to a World Cup, it shifts something in the sport. Regardless of the level. So I feel like now with the Masters team making it to the World Cup, it's going to amplify what is possible, because it means like those players came from somewhere, right? You started playing hockey when you were younger, and then you end up in the Masters team. So I foresee like more Masters players coming up front to play. I see that the younger teams are also going to grow, and I think there will be more money.
Yeah.
I think there'll be more investment, but I think it's going to take a collective for that to happen.
I like that. I like that. What would you want to change?
Oh, wow.
When it comes to hockey, and also not change. Two sides of the coin, isn't it?
I think not to change is let people not lose enthusiasm. I think hockey is one of those. Anybody who's played hockey, like till now, even if you've been 10 years off, it doesn't matter, like it's in your blood once you play it. So I would love for that, the passion to never die, even as a sport evolves and becomes grows in the country. I hope that passion always stays, because I think that's what's going to push us through everything. Because you could grow the systems, the structure, but if the passion goes, then we would have done all that for what? The passion is what is so important. So I hope that never changes. What I hope would change is, number one, the infrastructure. That has to, not hope, it has to change.
It has to change.
We need more than one official AstroTurf in the country. We need like multiple. And hopefully to the point where we have not just in Nairobi, we have in Mombasa, Kisumu, Nakuru, Kitale, wherever, and then schools also start to invest, because if we have it at the school level as well, and we have some very, prominent schools that have budget that I feel could invest in an Astro, so I feel like the infrastructure. The second thing is also the business side of hockey, for people to see that there is, like, you can actually benefit financially from hockey. It's, as we said, it's a sport that is addictive. So imagine an addictive sport, how much money there is in hockey if it has the right support. And I think also we need more like academies and support systems all the way through. Right? Because what happens, I feel, when you finish like high school, depending on what university you go to, you might drop off. Because it's not a sport that you can continue to play if you're not supported. In school, it's easy because maybe the school can buy the hockey sticks, right? And there's a schedule. But now when you have to fight between going to a job or like, trekking from where, it's difficult. So you need the support. And that's why finances are important, for players to have even like a token or something so they can continue to play, especially that, university stage, getting into like employment. I think it's a very important stage. And even for masters to start getting paid, I think it's very important for there to be some sort of financial support, because it shows it's not all about money. But it costs to play a sport, regardless of what sport it is. It costs to play a sport. And then I think finally, just like for us to start talking to each other, the government to talk, the corporates to talk, the unions to talk, the clubs to talk. I think it's important for us to realize, like, it's not one person, as Trina said. We have to work together, and also the fans. If you want the sport to grow, ask, what can I do? Like, I think sometimes we wait for other people if you want to sponsor, like you could be sponsoring the accommodation, you could the travel insurance, our flights. You know, one thing I'd love to pitch is like if you have air miles and you don't know what to do with them, give them to the hockey teams.
Oh yes,
right.
By the way,
give them. You have the people, corporates, or you fly a lot and you always have these air miles. Give the sports teams, give the hockey teams, because the biggest cost tends to be transport, which is the flights, and accommodation. If those two are covered, you can go to any tournament.
It's
food,
true.
you can eat. I mean, come on, you can always find food, right? But if you don't have like the flight, in fact, the flight tends to be the most important
cost,
one, the biggest cost. You know, because you go apply for the visa, but now you don't have a flight. You know, and unfortunately, because we're coming from our region, the African region, where flights tend to be so expensive, even within the continent, it cuts out so much, and then we don't get the exposure. So I feel like if you want to support the first one, like the World Cup is coming up, give us the flights. Right, you have a corporate and you have a lot of air miles. Donate those air miles.
I like how you put it. Wow, very well, very well said, Prab. So Oliver just said some of the questions that the government can ask sponsors, corporates is, what can I do? Yeah. Because I remember even Trina, you mentioned how, for example, in any sport, if you beat South Africa, that's a big deal. Right now in rugby, South Africa are killing it, man. It's like they've set the bar so high, right? Even in cricket and in any. So, for my perception, by the way, when I look at a team like South Africa in any sport that they play in, man, like they've invested so much in their infrastructure, you know, right down to the academy level, like even in like age grade levels, man, like they put a lot of thought in, and of course effort into sports. When you look at Kenya, bouncing off that question that Olivia asked, you know, said what some of the questions that the government can ask, or even sponsors, corporates, or whatever. What can I do? Do you think the Kenyan government is asking that question legit? Do you think they're actually interested in sports and building these infrastructures? Because, I mean, the potential for sports and ROI when it comes to sports is massive. But are they asking these questions? Are they actually interested in sports? Not just even cricket.
From my
hockey.
My perspective, maybe more. I think probably more from an athletics point of view. I think from the other sports, okay, you know, AFCON was big, so football I think got the limelight. Hockey, no, and I'll be I think purely blunt on that. I don't think they're actually paying attention to hockey, and they should. And you know, when we talk about us going to South Africa and you know what the girls did, you know. That was a good marker. But then over time, if you go back to all Africa games, it was Kenya that was the team to beat.
Right.
Always was. And until South Africa came into the fore, you know, when they opened up and they started playing these games. Yeah, because they already had that infrastructure in place, but they were at a different level. You know, we have our players, it's only, I think, recently our players are getting exposure to Europe. People are going to play a bit of professional hockey, you know, during a season and coming back, and you can see the difference. But then, from an association point of view, government point of view, I think they need to actually focus a lot more on hockey as well. With all other sports, you know, we go on Gong Road, we see the Talenta stadium coming up. It's grand. It's something that we need. You know, it's amazing. And then if you can do that for football or athletics, then why not the other sports? Because they are equally important. They are... And you know, we'll go back to the point is how do we nurture talent? Not everybody is a good footballer. Not everybody is a basketballer.
Right.
There are people that are hockey players. So why don't we nurture that talent? And you know, the beauty about hockey, and even one of my previous coaches says, football's easy to play because you're always upright. Hockey, you have to bend and play. It's a very difficult game. You know, but it's also very artistic. You know, the art involved in hockey is unbelievable. You know, the skills that you have, you know, playing with either left-handed, right-handed, on the run. It's what we spoke about, you know, outside of the studio here was it's, you know, some of the let's say officials from the government or corporates need to come and watch a proper game of hockey. Then they will understand what it is. And within that group, there are a lot of people that have played good hockey. They're good hockey players. But it's just, I think, either lost touch with what they need to do next, and I think they also just need to let go, I think, and say, okay, you know what, let's do it for the betterment of the sport.
It's true.
Nothing else.
Yeah, I like that. And I also, the question that I asked previously, I think you've talked about what should change, what shouldn't change.
In hockey, I think What shouldn't change, I think, the expansiveness of hockey currently going on in the country is amazing. And I think, all schools, I think, and even state schools are actually playing hockey. And I think they need to continue doing that. But again, I think to Olivia's point, I think needs to come to a point where state schools also need to start getting some of this infrastructure, as part of it. And that's a pledge, let's say, from the government to say, let's start with one school.
Yeah.
If I'm in the government, I'll say, let's go to either Kisumu boys or Iten.
Yeah.
Because they have been up there, or I think at the moment is Musinga. Let's just give them an AstroTurf. And then let's see what they do, because they're African school championships going on. But we go and perform, but South Africa again is there, Egypt again is there, but why? Why are we falling back? And it's just one parameter, is infrastructure.
Yeah, can imagine.
So if we get that right, I think then we will move forward really well.
Right. Trina, what is your message to young athletes out there, especially hockey players, who feel overlooked, under-supported, underappreciated, maybe from their family, school, the country, the government? What's your message to them?
My message to them is that if it's a passion, you don't give up on it. When I started hockey, I told you, my mother was like, why would you want to go play such a dangerous sport? But where she's seated right now, she's like, did she just go to South Africa? You see?
Yeah, nice.
So for me, what I'll tell the youth is consistency with their passion will get them somewhere.
Right.
Yeah. And they shouldn't take it like they're not getting support just from home. At first, I didn't get support from home. But because I got 2-3 other individuals playing that same sport was enough for me. Yeah. And after that, everyone else now looks at you like, we can support this. They support you fully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's very motivational.
So
it's true.
for me, any young person who's looking at sports, I would not discourage at all. They need to believe in themselves first, because we've had young people from very poor backgrounds getting scholarships in Strathmore, getting scholarships in USIU, KCA. So it is something I will encourage the young people, not to give up on that sport.
Yeah.
I've also gone ahead and created, before I was in the office as a Deputy Secretary General, I created a group and called it just Hockey Fraternity Group. And I was amazed. I've been able to pick up young guys joining and ask, where can I play hockey? I just finished Form 4. And there are people now who come up with the idea of having the sports academy. There are those that will notice, like, please come for training, please come for trials. So I've created that specific space for the youth.
I like that. It's like mentorship, It's like you're giving back as well. I love that. If hockey was a story, because you also mentioned you're into arts, just like Olivia, what chapter are we in right now? If this was a book, it's a novel. What chapter are we on right now?
Considering I'm playing Masters, climax.
Yeah, for real. I like that. I like that.
It's climax, because let me tell you, there's something beautiful about playing a sport. At let's say in your 40s. And you get to travel. People want to go to different countries. Like, I want to be on the yacht. Me, I want to play hockey in Australia. I know. I want to play hockey in Iceland one day.
It's so effortless now,
Yeah.
I like that.
You see? And the more the kids grow, the more I become very free now. Now you can imagine in my 70s, I'm playing hockey somewhere in America, and after that we're like, let's go to Miami, let's go to Las Vegas.
Now ringy.
That is Masters.
Good stuff.
And it's basically a very social time when you play Masters. There are people we never got to socialize when we were playing, like, now serious national league in our 20s, in our early 30s. But now when we're in our 40s, our 50s, we sit down and have like serious conversation. We socialize and we're like, hey, where have you been?
I tell you what, the folks who are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s who don't even have a social life. They're just with the wifey at home and the kids, just watching what used to be their lives back in the day. All you have is your stories. I used to be a creative striker, and the kids are like, prove it. They don't even believe you because there's no footage. So I like the whole idea of the masters. It's such an awesome idea. So guys, thank you so much for coming through. I've really enjoyed the conversation. So for folks who want to share your story, get into some sort of partnership with you guys, what's the contact information, maybe?
They can reach out to me. I'm currently in charge of the partnerships for the masters. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Contact?
My number is 0722
Nice.
886 889.
Awesome.
Yes.
And if you're listening, guys, just for business, please.
And you're also on TikTok, right?
Yeah, I'm also on TikTok.
Oh, good stuff.
Yes, I'm also a TikToker, and I really like putting out hockey out there as well,
I like
creating
that.
content. And we've had even international coaches now following us back, like wanting to know
very
what's
nice.
happening.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
So thank you so much once again for coming through to Spice FM.
Thank you for
Culture
having
Kitchen.
us.
On the Grey Zone, apparently, people who cry easily are often misunderstood. But neuroscience suggests their sensitivity is actually a strength. A neurologist explains that emotional responders have faster connections between the emotional and logical parts of the brain, helping them process information quickly and accurately. They say the tears signal heightened awareness. They sense tension, shifts in tone, and group dynamics long before others do. This makes them perceptive, intuitive, and deeply attuned. Crying isn't a loss of control. It's a sign of emotional intelligence and a powerful leadership potential trait. And I know who you're thinking of. Yeah, I know what you... Yo. Yes, Prezzo likes... I don't want to say he likes to cry, but, he can cry once in a while. And I think that's a good thing. Yeah, because you've heard the benefits of crying over here. It just shows that, you are... you're perceptive, you're intuitive, you're deeply attuned. I'm a crier, by the way. Never get it twisted. Me, if I get a reason to cry, yeah? Like right now, I'm going through a lot of grief. Yeah? I mean... listen, I have no reason to hide my emotions. But at the same time, I actually think if you're a leader, yeah, you shouldn't even hide your emotions. If you're excited and you want to, share those tears of joy, or something has pissed you off, like you're kind of sad, cry, man. People, you'll be surprised. Some of the people who are under you, who work for you, they'll relate and they'll be like, oh, I feel you. This guy has heart. The ability to have heart. That's what matters, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. So put it out there, put your emotions, let them talk, but the real ones know you're deeply intuitive, you're attuned, and that's a good trait. It means you relate, you're human enough to know what your people are going through. So it's our 9:15. When we come back, it's all about letters and late thoughts. Right now, it's the Kissing Game by High Five, playing right here on 94.4 Spice FM, and right now it's 9:32. We're keeping it moving. So right now it's all about letters and late thoughts, and there's a guy who's written me an awesome, really awesome letter. So he's basically talking about co-parenting during the holiday season, as in it can be crazy. And I don't know if you have your own, peculiar situation that you're facing. You're in a conundrum. You don't know how to handle it. Mera, the toys want to be with their dad. They want to be with their mom, and now you're like, oh snap! This could have been the best time with my kids. Christmas is one of those holidays, and so somebody here writes, "Hi, Kev. I'm writing to you because I really need some advice. The festive season is approaching. And this year, it feels more complicated than ever. I'm a co-parent, and I'm struggling with how to make Christmas work smoothly for our kids while keeping things fair because between me and my co-parent. I want the holidays to be special for the kids. But we both have family traditions. travel plans, and commitments that make splitting time very tricky. How should we decide who has the kids on which days? How do we plan? How do we balance both our family's expectations with what's best for the children? I also wonder about involving the kids themselves. Should they have a say in which parent they spend certain days with? And what about gifts, meals, and special activities? How do we plan these without creating tension or disappointment, Kev? I just want this Christmas to feel peaceful and joyful. Not stressful, I'm competitive. So any advice on making co-parenting during the holidays work in a way that keeps the kids happy, respects both parents, and makes the season meaningful? Yours truly, Anonymous. So I get it. I mean, the whole goal, if you're a co-parent, especially during this season, is no stress, a joyful time with the kids, and fairness. Like, it only makes sense for both parents to spend a good time with the kids. But now the question is, how do you even go about that? So for me, I think it's very simple. This thing is not even rocket science. You have to create a calendar. You have to discuss splitting time evenly. Yeah? Either you say, okay, fine, I'm going to be with the kids during Christmas, and then you're going to be with the kids during the New Year's. You have to alternate the holidays. I don't see any other way, around this. Yeah? A calendar is literally the only solution that works. 50-50. And then in the next holidays for next year, the other parent is going to spend, Christmas with the kids. And then, of course, the other one for the New Year's. Listen, fairness, rigid fairness is what's left. Right now, it's 12 minutes to 10. Chris Brown is coming through with It's Giving Christmas. But we're still on the big why, and the question is very simple. Why do small wins feel invincible, but small failures feel so huge? Yeah? Why? Yani, you've had a bunch of small wins, but you never even recognize them. You're just like, it's nothing, man. Cut it out, man. It's funny because the people really around you, they're so excited about your wins. They're like, yo, come on, man. You guys, that's progress. You guys are motivating you. We're rooting for you. But you're like, nah, man, this is nothing. I'm looking forward to the big one. Why? But the opposite of that, you guys, the small failures, it's like the end of the world for you. Why is it like that? You're supposed to celebrate the small wins, bro, because that's what makes the big win. It's about the journey, it's about the process. Yeah? Kwanzaa, you're going to be looking back at this year, 2025. It's been very eventful. Sometimes, good, bad, come see, come saw, it's been all over the place. But the funny thing is, you might think it wasn't good for you. Yeah? But guess what? You probably had a bunch of small wins. You got to celebrate those. Yeah, because in future you're gonna look back and then you're gonna be like, "Wow, nimetoka far." Yeah, so don't be distracted by the small failures. In fact, those failures are actually lessons. You get? Yeah, Sasa. Let's keep it moving. I like this one, and I hope the playlist is giving Christmas vibes. Once again, happy holidays, guys. I've enjoyed hanging out. You guys, we've been chopping it up with deadly from 7 till 10. Thank you so much, Robert and Mary, wherever you are. Right now, it's 7 minutes to 10. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm going to leave you in the safe hands of Escape. It's called Love on My Mind. We're going to catch up again tomorrow. Awesome guests coming through, Kesho, on Culture Kitchen. Don't miss out on that one. But for me, to you, I just want to say that I love you.